Thank you for calling Mark's Plumbing. This is Aria. What's the issue you're having today?
Hey Aria, I was actually wondering if I could get a plumber sent out because I have a burst pipe and it's leaking a lot of water.
Okay, this is urgent. I'm flagging this now and getting an engineer to call you within 15 minutes. Can I have your full name, please?
Absolutely, that would actually be Pete Smith.
Just to confirm, your first name is Pete, last name is Smith. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thanks, Pete. Could you please provide your full address, including postcode?
Absolutely, that would be 83 Plow Lane and the postcode is SL1 3NY.
Just to confirm, your address is 83 Plough Lane, postcode SL13NY. Is that right?
That's right.
Got it. Can you give me a callback number, please? I'll read it back to you for confirmation.
Absolutely, that would be 07886 189 465.
Just to confirm, your callback number is 0788 Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Thanks, Pete. An engineer will call you within 15 minutes. Stay available on that number. Before I let you go, do you have any questions for me?
No, that's completely fine.
Thanks for calling. Mark's Plumbing will be with you soon.
As you can see, that even got logged into a spreadsheet over here, and we can download the call as well and we can listen back to it. That just ran entirely on its own. No human and no one on the other side of the phone to actually pick up the phone. Just an AI receptionist that I built in around 10-15 minutes. And what's crazy is that the moment that the phone ended, the owner instantly got a message on Telegram flagging it as an emergency. And what's even crazier is that every detail of that call actually goes into a spreadsheet and it gets logged for the owner to look back onto. And I built that with only two tools, Retell and N8N. And today I'm going to show you exactly how you can replicate and build one for yourself. So let's get right into it. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to head over to retellai.com, and this is where we are going to be making our AI receptionist. So you want to go ahead and either log in or try for free, and then you'll be prompted to actually continue with any account. You just go ahead and make an account. All right, so once you've actually created your account, you're going to be led over to the dashboard, and this is where you actually are going to be making all your agents. And I want to make it clear that when you do make a new account, you do get $10 in free credits, which is pretty neat. So you can test it out, build out some stuff and see how you actually like it. And Retell is actually really good. It's really cheap as well. So I definitely recommend it. And I'm not sponsored, by the way, so I'm just saying it's definitely something I recommend. But we're going to go ahead and create a new agent, and we're going to go with voice agent. And then we're going to go on single prompt because it's just much easier. You just put in a prompt and it's already made. And we're going to go with blank agent. And now we're going to be led over to here. And as you can see, it may seem a bit confusing at first, but it's really not. It's really easy. And one thing that I want to make clear is that just for the sake of this demo, I'm going to be building this AI receptionist for a fiction plumbing company. And I also want to point out that it's very customizable. You know, you can make an AI receptionist or voice agent for any niche that you like, whether that's law, finance, mortgage broking, commodity broking, anything, literally anything, logistics, all of it, you name it, you can make it. But just for the sake of this demo, I'm going to go ahead and do a plumbing company. But we're going to go ahead and paste our prompt over here. And this is the prompt that the AI is going to follow. So it knows its identity, voice and style, its job, etc. So here we have the identity, your Aria, blah, blah, blah. And you're a virtual receptionist for Mark's Plumbing. And then we got the voice and style, your job, and then we have emergency routing, casual or general. So that's the prompt done. Now we can go ahead and actually test it out and see how well it actually does. But before we actually test it out, I want to tell you guys that you can actually change what LLM you're using for the agent. So by default, you're going to be using GPT 4.1 default, but you can obviously change it. You know, there's obviously GPT 5.1. I don't, however, recommend GPT 5.1 unless, you know, you're getting a lot of calls and the agent requires thinking and, you know, it creates a bit of latency. But you can always go with GPT 4.1 mini or GPT real-time mini, which is pretty good as well. And you know what, we're going to go ahead for the sake of this demo, set it to GPT real-time mini. And we can actually change the voices as well, which is pretty neat. However, I want to make it clear that if you're using any of these models, you're going to have to use GPT's voice models as well. But by default, you can use 11 Labs models, Cartesia, Minimax, many other models. But for the sake of this, we're going to go with the British accent. All right, so once you've actually selected a voice that you like, I'm just going to quickly change this to English UK, and we can go over and head to agent handbook as well, which is where you can set guidelines for the agent to actually follow. So, you know, you can go over to personality and tone, the accuracy and format, and trust and safety. What I normally like doing is I like keeping professional rep personality on. I like to add some natural filler words because it makes it seem more realistic and high empathy as well. And then for accuracy and format, I also like turning echo verification, speech normalization, and then for trust and safety, I just leave it how it is. But I want to make it clear that you are going to be using more tokens if you know you have more settings on, so you're going to be using credits much faster. And for the welcome message, we are going to go with AI speaks first, and we'll keep it a dynamic message. We'll let the AI decide what they say when they open the call. But let's go ahead and run up the test.
Hello, this is Aria from Mark's Plumbing. How can I assist you today?
Hey Aria, I actually have a boiler that's not working, so there's no hot water, and yeah, I'm having issues right now at the minute.
Okay, that sounds urgent. Let's get someone to you fast. Can you tell me your full name first?
Absolutely, that would be John Smith.
Thanks. John Smith, can you give me the best number to call you back on?
Yeah, that would be 077777777.
Got it. Let me confirm that. 0777777. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Thanks for that. Now, could you tell me your postcode?
Yeah, absolutely. My postcode would be SL1 3NY.
Thanks. And just to confirm, that's SL1 3NY, correct?
That's correct.
Great. And finally, could you provide the street name?
Absolutely. That would be 87 Plough Lane.
Just to confirm, that's 87 Plough Lane, is that correct?
That's correct. Actually, no, wait, it's 83 Plough Lane.
Thanks for letting me know. So that's 83 Plough Lane, correct?
Yep.
Got it. 83 Plough Lane. I'm flagging this to Mark as urgent right now. One of our engineers will call you back within 15 minutes on 077777. Is that okay?
That's okay. Also, I have a question. What is the pricing like?
That's something Mark will confirm when he calls you back. It depends on the job. Is there anything else you'd like to know before I let you go?
No, that's completely fine.
All right. Got it. I'll make sure Mark gets this flagged as urgent and he'll call you back within 15 minutes. Take care.
All right, so now we're actually going to go ahead and add some data to the post-call data extraction. And what this basically does is that whenever a call ends, it grabs the data that you actually tell it to grab. So we're going to go ahead and add some things to the post-call data extraction, like caller name, caller phone, the urgency, and some different things like the address as well. All right, cool. So I filled out the data, and as you can see, we added caller name, caller phone, problem description, property address, and urgency. And we're going to go through all of them really quick, and I'm going to show you what I added to it. So for caller name, we literally just did caller name and then the full name of the caller as confirmed during the call. And I added this in description. And it's very, very important that you do fill up the description, because the LLM that we're using, so right now we're using GPT-5 mini, the LLM that we're using is going to look at the description and is going to know what to grab. So if the description is empty, the LLM isn't going to know what to do. So again, very important that you fill out the description, as I did for everything else, for caller phone, for problem description, for property address. And for the property address, I actually added a format example. So it knows the postcode goes here and the street address goes here. So it's like individual. It's not done in one, if that makes sense. And then we have the urgency as well, which is casual and emergency. And this was the selector. So if I click on add, there's text and then the selector. So all of these are text and this is selector. Cool. Anyways, once we've got that aside, we are going to go ahead and move on to webhooks. So if you go down a little bit, you can actually go ahead and see this webhook settings. And when you open that, it's going to read out something like agent level webhook URL. And what that basically is you're giving your webhook that you're using. So for example, we're using our webhook from N8N. We're getting that webhook and we're pasting it here. And what that does is that when the call ends, the data gets sent to that webhook that we put in N8N. So if we head over to the workflow in N8N that I have, as you can see here, we have our webhook, right? And then the data from the webhook is being sent over here. And then that data is going through all the different nodes that we have set up. Anyways, you are going to get the webhook from the N8N workflow. And also I am going to be leaving this workflow in the description so that you guys can go ahead and download it and you guys can play around with it. You know, you can mix it up with whatever niche you want. You can add on to it, whatever you guys want to do. And also one thing that I want to make clear, and if you do have an instance of N8N that's hosted on the cloud or a VPS, then you can skip this part. But if you're hosting your N8N on a local host, what you can do is you can download ngrok. And when you download ngrok, you literally just go into your terminal and you type in your authorization token, which you can get from when you make your account in ngrok. And all that you do is literally you type in ngrok HTTP and it'd be the local host. So it's 5678. And if you're actually using ngrok, your webhook will start something like this, and then your webhook will be inserted over here. So it'd be webhook, blah, 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 whatever your webhook is. But anyways, once we've got that done and pasted in our actual Retell, I want to briefly go over the N8N workflow and show you how the process actually works. So actually we get the webhook over here, the data is being transferred. And when you're testing out the actual agent on the web in Retell and you don't actually have a number assigned to it, you're going to get 3 types of different webhook events. Now, if we go over to executions, you can see there's these 3 events over here. So this one is, if we go over here, so this one is call started. This one is going to be call ended. And then this one is going to be call analyzed. Now, I want to make it clear that these 3 events will only happen if you're testing out the agent in the actual platform in Retell. And if you have an inbound or outbound number set to it, you only see the data in inbound and outbound. So there will be only 1 or 2 workflow events. But anyways, moving on. Here is the if node. So what this basically does is that it checks if the call hasn't been ended. So if the call hasn't been ended, that means it goes through. So normally what might happen is that a person may end the call halfway, even though they haven't given the whole data. And what this does, it prevents the data from being logged and sent to Telegram and to the spreadsheet, so that, you know, you're not actually getting any time wasted, because, you know, you don't want blank data obviously being sent to you. And then we have a filter. So again, this moves on to the events that we get. There's 3 different events that we get from the platform when we test out the agent. So as you can see, we have the JSON body event set to call analyze, because that is the only piece of data that we want. That's the only event that we actually want. If we don't have this filter, then what will happen is if we go over to Telegram, we will get 3 different messages, and 2 of them will be with blank data and 1 of them will be with the actual data that we want. So obviously we only want 1 message to come through, and we want our spreadsheet to actually work nicely without any blank data. So again, that's why we have the filter in place. Now this is another if node, and this checks if this is an emergency or a casual. So if we go ahead here, we can see in our custom data analysis, which is basically the post data extraction analysis that we put in our Retell agent, it checks if it's an emergency. So if it is an emergency, it will go over here. And then if we go to our spreadsheet, you can see it says true. However, if it's casual, it will go ahead and say false. And then we can see over here as well, it will say casual emergency, and if it's emergency, it will say emergency. If it's casual, it will say casual. There we have the actual bot sending the data for us. And then here's the actual JSON. So, hey Fike, you got a call from webhook custom analysis, the caller's name. And then we get the caller name, caller phone, etc, etc. All right, cool. So now that we actually have all of that set up, we can go ahead and click on publish, and we can name it whatever we want. So it'd be maybe, for example, first release. And then for the version description, we can just type in whatever. And then if you actually want to connect it to a number, so let's say that you have a company that you want to connect it to, what you can do is you can do call forwarding. And what that will do is that the company's number, whoever you're building this agent for, if they get an inbound number, it is being forwarded to the actual number that you buy for whatever you assign it to the agent. Or what you can do is you can actually go ahead and buy an individual number for your actual agent. You can get it from Twilio, or you can actually buy it from Retell. But if you're in the UK, I recommend that if you're building this out for UK businesses, that you buy a UK number from Twilio, because Retell actually only offers Canadian and US numbers. But anyways, once we've got that out of the way, we can go ahead and test out our agent, and our webhook has been set up. Everything has been set up. So let's go ahead and see if we actually get the new data in our spreadsheet and the message in Telegram.
Hello, this is Aria from Mark's Plumbing. How can I help you today?
Hey Aria, actually I don't know if I have, there's no hot water or any water at all actually coming from my tap. And I don't know, it's a bit frustrating, but it's not really an emergency.
Got it. That can be frustrating. Let's sort it out. Could you give me your full name, please?
Absolutely. My full name would actually be Peter, and the last name would be Parker.
Thanks, Peter Park. Just to confirm, your last name is spelled Parker. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Perfect. And what's the best phone number to call you back on?
The best phone number to call me back on would actually be 07558 187
Got it. Let me repeat that. 07558 187 correct?
That's correct.
Thanks, Peter. Now, could you share your postcode, please?
Absolutely. That would be 5LB3NY.
Thank you. So that's 5LB3N1, correct?
That's correct.
Perfect. And finally, what's the street name?
The street name would be 187 Death Road.
Got it. That's 187 Death Road. Just to confirm, is that the right spelling?
Yes, that's the correct spelling.
Thanks for confirming. Is there anything else you'd like to know before I let you go?
No, that's fine.
All right. Thanks, Peter. One of our engineers will call you back within 15 minutes on 0755 8187389 to sort this out.
All right, cool. So the agent actually just ended the call. So we're going to go ahead and check our Telegram and spreadsheet. So I actually ran into an issue where I had to refresh my credentials. So if I show you over here, as you can see, I actually didn't have my credentials for some reason. I think they expired, but I needed to sign in again. But anyways, the actual workflow did work. So as you can see, we actually just got the message over here. So, hey Frank, you just got a call from Peter Parker and blah, blah, blah. We got the caller name, we got the caller phone, problem description, and we got casual emergency, and it says casual, just like we said in the call. We got the address, which is 187 Death Road. We got the postcode, and then we got a summary of the call. And what I think is really cool is that in the spreadsheet, you can actually download the recording of the call. So the call actually gets recorded. So I'm actually going to download it and play it back and show you guys.
Hello, this is Aria from Mark's Plumbing. How can I help you today?
Hey Aria, actually I don't know if I have, there's no hot water or any water at all. And I want to quickly show you what it would actually look like if if you actually want to buy an inbound number from Retell. So I'm going to show you right now. So if we go over here and we go to phone numbers, we can go over, click one, and then you can just buy one. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when you've actually bought a number. All right, cool. So once you've actually bought your number, you're going to be seeing this where you can go ahead and change whatever call agent you want. So as you can see, I selected one of the plumber receptionists that I've made in my other account. And, there's quite a lot of different versions where I'm just testing it out. Different models, different voice models, so much things. But anyways, we added our inbound webhook, and this is where you'd actually want to enter your webhook rather than the one in the platform as I showed you earlier, because this is the webhook that's being used when you're actually calling someone, or well, actually the receptionist is being called on. And we selected allowed inbound countries. So inbound means the people that are actually calling the receptionist. And you can also select outbound, which is completely different. And we actually have it disabled. I think you are charged extra for it. And there's some other add-ons as well where you can do SMS, verified phone number to avoid it being flagged as spam. And you can do branded calls as well. Anyways, I do want to make it clear that everything in this video, from the workflow to the spreadsheets to even the prompt, everything will be in the description down below in a free resource guide that I made for you guys. You can check it out, download it, and follow along the steps if the video is too fast for you or you want a bit more details on the guide on how to actually set this up. Anyways, before I actually wrap up the video, I want to make a few things clear. So this workflow or this receptionist is very agnostic, very customizable. You can change it to however you want. So if you want it to be for a law firm, you can make it work for a law firm. You can make it work for a barbershop. You can make it work for even MOT service. Literally quite anything, literally. I just want to let you guys know that because I use plumbing as a demo here, that is not a limitation. You can literally choose any niche you like. Anyways, that is it for the video. If you actually took something valuable from this, let me know down in the comments below, because I'm going to be rolling out more videos like this. And if you have any problems, let me know as well. I'll be happy to help you out. I'll read all the comments. But anyways, that's it for today. Bye bye.